The systematic erasure of the matriarchal rulers of the Nile Valley represents a profound ideological conflict, a deliberate obscuring of the supreme authority held by the black women of Nubia. Ancient records, particularly those molded by patriarchal societies, sought to diminish the immense influence of the Kendakes, the sovereign queens of Kush. This rewriting of history stripped away their specific names and individual triumphs, reducing a continuous lineage of divine female leadership into a mere footnote within texts like the Bible, where the title Candace is stripped of its fierce, independent sovereignty. Long before the rise of Rome, the earliest expressions of this divine feminine power emerged at Nabta Playa. Here, the ancestral mothers aligned vast stone circles with the stars, establishing a celestial calendar that honored the cosmic cycles. This site stands as a testament to an early spirituality rooted in the maternal life-giving forces of the cosmos, mapping the heavens to guide the agricultural and spiritual practices of the deep Sahara. As cultures flourished along the Nile, the Naqada periods, Naqada the First, Two, and Three, witnessed the crystallization of matriarchal symbolism. Artifacts from these eras display intricate representations of the Great Mother, her forms celebrated in terracotta and stone, embodying the fertility and sustaining power of the earth. The artistry of Naqada established a visual language where female figures stood as central pillars of societal and spiritual life, holding the balance of nature in their hands. Further south, Seti, the land of the bow, rose as an early bastion of Nubian strength and maternal leadership. The clans of Seti revered the female lineage, tracing their earthly and divine rights through the mothers of the community. This foundational matriarchy ensured that spiritual and temporal authority remained intertwined, passing from mother to daughter in a continuous chain of undisputed reverence. The civilization of Kerma elevated this localized reverence into a monumental kingdom. In Kerma, the central role of women expanded into grand architectural and civic expressions, where female leaders guided trade, diplomacy, and the spiritual rites that anchored the society. The wealth and stability of Kerma were inextricably linked to its matriarchal structure, presenting a formidable alternative to the increasingly male-dominated structures emerging in neighboring regions. Within the Kemetic traditions of Egypt, the resonance of this ancient feminine power remained visible in their cosmology, even as patriarchal influences grew. The ultimate creators and sustainers of the universe were venerated as divine mothers, cosmic figures, who arched across the sky or nourished the earth with endless vitality. These feminine deities embodied the primordial essence of creation, serving as the unquestioned source from which all life and celestial light emerged. The Napatan period marked a powerful resurgence of indigenous Kushite traditions, explicitly reinforcing the supreme role of the Queen Mother. During this era, no king could claim the throne without the direct, legitimizing endorsement of his mother, who held a status equal to the divine. This system ensured that true power resided within the female bloodline, safeguarding the matriarchal core of Kushite spirituality against external patriarchal pressures. The transition of the capital to Meroe heralded the ultimate golden age of the Kendakes, a continuous era where queens ruled with absolute, unshared authority. These women were not consorts or secondary figures, they were the sole sovereigns, commanding vast armies, managing immense wealth, and overseeing the spiritual practices of their empire. Meroe became a glittering beacon of matriarchal triumph, standing in stark contrast to the subjugated status of women in the Mediterranean world. To secure their legacy, the queens of Meroe oversaw the development and proliferation of the Meroitic script, a unique indigenous writing system. This script recorded their decrees, their spiritual invocations, and their victories, capturing the literary voice of the matriarchs in a language entirely their own. The very existence of Meroitic text acts as a shield, preserving the authentic thoughts and commands of the queens from the interpretive distortions of foreign chroniclers. The title of Kendake carried profound spiritual and political weight, translating to a supreme maternal ruler who acted as the living embodiment of divine will. A Kendake managed the delicate balance of the universe, ensuring prosperity, agricultural abundance, and military security for her people. Her authority was absolute, derived not from a male counterpart, but from the ancient, unbroken chain of divine mothers extending back to the dawn of creation. Matriarchal cosmology in Meroe envisioned the universe as a vast, nurturing entity, continually generating and sustaining life through feminine principles. The divine was inherently maternal, granting the queens a sacred mandate to govern the physical realm just as the cosmic mother governed the stars. This spiritual framework made the Kendake indispensable. She was the sacred conduit channeling heavenly prosperity into the fertile soil of Nubia. This reverence for the maternal creator was not isolated to the Nile Valley. Similar spiritual currents flowed through ancient Anatolia. In these distant lands, the Great Mother was equally celebrated as the supreme source of life and civilization, echoing the beliefs held by the Nubian queens. This shared ancient reverence suggests a once universal spiritual alignment centered on feminine power. which was systematically dismantled by the aggressive spread of patriarchal empires. The clash between the black women of Nubia and the expanding patriarchal forces can be understood as a profound holy war, a struggle for the very soul of societal organization. Patriarchal societies sought to dominate, conquer, and rewrite the narrative, replacing the supreme mother with a supreme father. The Kendakes stood as the ultimate defiance against this ideological invasion, fighting fiercely to protect their people and their sacred way of life from total erasure. The most acute manifestation